Hello and welcome to a new video of the Hey Honey YouTube channel. My name is Simone. I'm a yoga teacher and osteopath based in Bavaria here in Germany, and I'm working very closely between the treatment bench and my yoga mat. Today I'm going to share with you why both of these sciences, practices, they are so powerful, and combined they can be even better, even stronger together. So we're giving an impulse on a treatment bench and then taking it off to the yoga mat where everyone can practice for themselves. So today we are going to look at our pelvic area. This is an important part in every osteopathic treatment as well as in our yoga practice. And I want to give you a few impulses how you can maybe integrate a few smaller movements, deep movements into your practice. So I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. So please join me here in a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands onto your knees. Relax your shoulders. Allow yourself to close your eyes and take a deep breath. To start, we're going to arrive and settle in that area we're going to practice with today, like our pelvic area. And we start by bringing our breath down into this area. So take a deep breath with your nose. As you inhale, your belly, your chest is rising. And you feel like when the breath comes higher and higher, fuller and fuller, you feel the breath like arriving in your pelvic area, in your pelvic floor. Just feel the sensations. Feel if there's pain or any like tight spaces. And allow yourself to like really release into the floor underneath you. Like you seated, sitting bones. Like connect. And you feel also how your pelvic is taking a major part in like how your upright sitting position is evolving. If you sort of move and flex the pelvic a little bit forward, it brings you further up. And as you release your pelvis backwards, like it rounds your spine. So feel how everything is connected, like your legs through the hip sockets, how the pelvic area is like sort of the horizontal fundament that distributes weight, that gives a fundament for the spine to arise. For every inhalation, you fill up your belly completely, and you feel like sort of the space from the center, going outwards. Maybe with your imagination, like create a picture of your pelvic and the inner organs and how the ligaments and muscles and fascia connect. Where does it pull you, and where does it need your special awareness today? We're going to use subtle movements, and I'd really like you to find your perfect movement, your perfect fit. And so let's inhale together and slowly open your eyes again. Welcome to the practice, and welcome to practice with me on like tiny movements of everything that is important for the pelvic area. And therefore we're going to like just release our legs. You can start by keeping them bent a little bit and maybe shake first. It is so important to start with the legs, as all the impulse and the strength, the power by walking, standing, like is arriving as an impulse in our pelvic area. And like I said, the pelvic area needs to distribute. So now slowly bring your legs straight forward and again rotate in and outwards, so that they can find sort of a position of ease in the middle. And then we sit up. So we sit up and start by walking through our sitting bones. So one movement one leg shifts forward and then the other one. So this way we can literally walk up and down our yoga mat. And this is a particularly good way to sort of start up your iliosacral joints. They are often like sort of the cause of pain through a tilted pelvic area. So you can just slowly ease in. This doesn't need to be the biggest movement. And you can do this completely laying, or in our case today, we sit and walk forward and backwards. So we keep walking till we come back into our sort of the middle of our mat. And from here, we're going to take our legs, and we start by taking one. You can help it with your hand. This is not about a strong practice, like we're going sort of like to smooth in to every, like to really main muscles that involve our pelvic area. So here we're going to like address the psoas muscle a little bit. So you can also sit back again and really nicely rotate your leg out and inwards. And it's not just the leg that is doing this movement. You feel your whole right side of the pelvic area is moving, and then we do the other side. And find a free movement, a free range of movement for your hip area. It's always nice to compare a little bit, not because we want to judge, but like to bring both legs closer to each other, like to bring them into a symmetric movement. Let's sort of maybe the body part that has a problem, like learn from the one that is moving freely. And then slowly we take both legs together. We come in a relaxed butterfly pose. And from here, we're going to first sit upright and start bringing a little flying movement, like shake our wings a little bit. And this is also almost something you could do for a few minutes till you realize that your pelvic area is not moving from muscle strength. It's like a free-flowing movement. So today we're going to do it for a few breaths. And then with your next exhalation, you just let the knees drop. And we're taking our lower arms against our legs and work with a subtle strength practice. So when you inhale, you take an inhalation and then you hold your breath. And in this little holding, you press your legs just slightly up into your lower arms, so that you feel like the arms against the legs. And as you exhale, please don't push down with your arms, just release. One more time. As you inhale, you sit up. You press up as if the legs want to move up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, you just release and then allow yourself to go in a little forward fold. One more time. This time, inhale, roll up. Hold your breath with a little firm push upwards. And then exhale, release, and roll forward. With your inhalation, you come up and you take your legs up. We come into a seated squatting position. Obviously, when we are in like a deep yoga practice, then you can use the proper yogi squat, but it's nice for sort of a therapeutic session to stay seated. You can really be aware of the movement, what's happening within. And so we take our arms in between. And again, like we find a connection between the legs and the arms. And this time, as we rise up, the knees push into your arms again. And just for a moment, feel, where do I feel inner movement? And this is a particular little practice to address again the iliosacral joints. And exhale, release, and we just swap the sides. And this time the knee pushes outward. And you can just swap a few more times. And swap. And as we push outwards, this addresses like sort of the opposite joint. As we know, the ilias, so the big part of your pelvic area is like forming the iliosacral joint here, and in the front it forms your pubic bone. So, and we want to give stimulation into the front and the end and the back joint. So as you come, join me up in like a cat and cow position. We're taking first an easy cat-cow and like allow yourself to drop, inhale, and exhale, roll back. Connect your spine, like sort of the lower spine where it goes down into your sacrum. Inhale up. And so we can already tell it's not easy or it's not simple practicing only for the pelvic area. We need to connect and take the parts that are connected to the pelvic area. So therefore we're using a little spinal stretch. And then with the next inhalation, we come up, and exhalation, just lift your right foot, bring it in the same line with your left knee and let the foot point outward. Again, we're using the same cat and cow movement, and obviously feel free to like let this part of your practice be completely creative. Like you don't need to just go in straight movements. You can sort of like start moving a little bit in a figure 8 or just like circles to start sort of getting into every part of your pelvic area, the buttocks, but also like the axis of your legs. Every accident or problem you will have in one of the joints of the leg can have an impulse into how your pelvic area and how your pelvic is tilted. And change direction. And slowly come out, come back into a neutral position. So you inhale, bring your leg up, and now the pelvic area is allowed to move freely. See where it takes you, knee underneath your body, towards your chin, and backwards. There's loads of dimensions we have to look at, like how to correct our pelvic area. We have the possibility to correct it in like anterior or posterior direction. We're having the possibility to have an out flare or in flare direction and a rotation, inner and outer rotation. So there's different movements we have to address, and as you keep circling, now we're taking the leg and bringing it backwards a little bit further behind the left side, and the left lower leg is tilting outwards. We're coming into a side angle pose. And just stretch the side of your leg, opening your groin area. And again, bring your breath into this area. Inhale, feel your foot, the arch of your foot that has a connection into your pelvic floor. Feel your diaphragm on the right side. And slowly come back. We're leaving the right leg straight. We're coming in a little vinyasa. Knee, chest, and chin. Inhale firmly, the pelvic on the mat, and you come up in a tiny cobra. And exhale back into child's pose. And from here, we're going to start on the left side. Inhale, come up. And as you exhale, you bring your left foot into the line of your right knee. Foot is pointing to the outside of your mat. Again, you start arriving in your left side, and it might feel different to the other side. So address that. And as we are in our yoga practice, like, remember to work with Mula Bandha, like this addressing of the pelvic floor, that this movement now, especially when we move the adductors, can or stimulates the pelvic muscles in the floor area, and give yourself time to really explore movements like this. Change directions, feel free. And then slowly come back in a neutral position. Left leg comes up, and again you move. By bringing the knee forward, you'll be having like the posterity of the left ilia now. For example, if we move it back, we can shift the pelvic into an anteriority. By bringing it over the side, we feel how the this out flare can be brought in. And when we move up and come into a side angle pose, then, sorry, I'm just switching sides again, then we can address the outer rotation or inner rotation. And one more time, you come back, knee, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, come back into a child's pose. And stay here in your child's pose. And allow your pelvic area to really drop. If you can't reach sort of the heels, or you can't relax in that pose, take yourself a bolster, a block, and to really connect to the earth and like find your firm fundament, what the pelvic area for us and the Muladhara chakra is, like our roots, the foundation. Bring your breath back into the deepness of your pelvic bowl. Find the fluidity of the inner organs and how they move freely through these movements. How you could maybe release and bring just a little bit more awareness to the importance that our pelvic area has. This obviously can be done much longer. Like, you can widen your knees, you can really release into your relaxation here. So feel free to just close your laptop and stay in this position, or slowly come back up. With our inhalation, release our hands. We bring our hands together and we finish and end this practice together with an Om. Inhale deeply. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you could take some impulses away, and hopefully see you soon again on the mat, whether it's on YouTube or my website or in live. I'd like to meet you and see you soon. Thank you.